What's up, world? Uko here from Better Therapy Now. If you're a business student, these are six really good books that you should read. Number one is Captivate by Vanessa Van Edwards. I love this book. I read it earlier this year and I also listened to it last year, but Captivate is all about just captivating other people. It is great for networking events, like learning how to navigate your way through networking events and execute yourself in one-on-one conversations or conversations in small groups with confidence. So that's Captivate by Vanessa Van Edwards. Number two, Cues, also by Vanessa Van Edwards. I think Vanessa Van Edwards was my person of the year last year, at least my favorite author of the year last year. Cues is all about your body language, communicating with individuals using everything except for words. So there's a whole lot of research out there about how we communicate much more with our hands and our eyes and our face and facial expressions outside of words. And Vanessa Van Edwards and her team did a study on TEDx speakers. I forget how many they reviewed and analyzed, but what they noticed was that there was a distinct difference between people who went viral after their speeches on TEDx and those who didn't go viral. And the biggest difference was in the number of hand gestures that they used. And that's a big reason why I use so many hand gestures, because it communicates so much. And they realized or found that those who went viral used around 400 and something hand gestures in a speech, and those who didn't used about half that. The third book, $100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozy. This has been my favorite audiobook to listen to this year. He explains in it what he calls the Grand Slam offer. And what I love about this book is that he talks about a couple of things. Number one is how to communicate value. And while you're figuring out how to communicate value in whatever you're offering, whether it's a product or service, he explains how to create value while you're trying to communicate it by talking to and meeting with the people that you want to sell to. So like your ideal avatar. And the second thing that he talks about is sales psychology, how the way in which you present an offer of a service or a product can really change the way it looks. It can change the way that value is communicated. The fourth book, The One Day Marketing Plan. It's a short book. I only listened to the audio of it, but what I like about the One Day Marketing Plan is that it really sold me on the idea of developing an email list and some way of staying in contact with it. And it really emphasizes the fact that you don't sell anybody on one pitch alone. You sell them by communicating with them over and over again. That's really what the One Day Marketing Plan is all about. It's about a couple of things. One, having a marketing plan, first off. And then two, touch points are establishing multiple touch points with your ideal avatar. The fifth book is Daniel Priestley's Key Person of Influence, so KPI. And what a key person of influence is somebody that is in some niched market and they just become a key person in that market. They can give speeches about it, about whatever topic that they're a key person of influence in. They're a specialist in that area. They do things like webinars. They know the best people, but the whole book is about how to become this key person of influence. And it's much easier than you think, because it doesn't mean that you have 1 million followers on YouTube or that you have some huge following on X or Twitter. It just means that you've done the work, even if it's just in your area, like in your city, to establish yourself as an authority in a certain area. So if you're a therapist and say you do therapy for people with ADHD, then you're out there talking to schools and giving presentation about how to parent kids with ADHD. You will write a book, most likely, or publish in a newspaper or a magazine. You will give some webinars. You will do things that in the past might have cost money, but today are free. It's free to publish an ebook. It's free to go start a meetup group and give a free webinar. You can get in front of your chamber of commerce for free and give a talk. There's a whole lot of things that you can do to start to build your reputation and become this key person of influence. And that's what the book is all about. And then the last book, which I just read, is Fanatical Prospecting, which is just a sales book. But I love it because it gives you a lot of tools and tactics on how to sell a product, which is something that I'm in lead generation, I'm in business development within the behavioral health and mental health field. So this book was really good because what it really sent home for me is that people fail in sales because they just don't want to hear the word no. And the majority of the book is about this sales psychology and getting over this idea that you are calling somebody, you're interrupting their day, and you're sending them an offer, and you might hear the word no. And honestly, you most likely will hear the word no, and getting over that and persevering through that day after day, which really isn't that hard once you start to do it and you just do it. That is the difference between somebody who's able to sell a product and be like a top salesman and somebody who is either mediocre or below average. So those are, and honestly, if you are starting a business, and this book really made me think about this as well. If you're starting a business and you're trying to run the business, at first, you are a salesperson because you are developing something that has value and you're trying to communicate to your ideal audience that that thing is valuable and that they should buy it. Those are my 6 books that every business student should read right now and that I am reading over and over again. I'm really into this idea of picking key books and not reading them over and over again instead of just reading book after book after book, because a lot of books say mostly the same thing in certain topics. So in marketing, a lot of marketing books just say the same thing. In sales, a lot of those sales books say the same thing. In business development and mental health, a lot of those books just say the same thing, but they kind of have a different cocktail by which they present it. So just find your 4 or 5 key books that you really connect with and then read those books over and over again. I'm Muko from Better Therapy Now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.